Hello there and welcome back to the Aztecs. Last time, we fought against Castile, Congo and Portugal, and we considered defeat, but I dare say we won the war. Military is currently being, or catching up. We are basically set to get next level, and with that we'll have the lands connect, and then we'll just be one, unit behind in theory. Also, we had a very negative thing with the, to some extent, Portugal disappearing, but that also means that I can release them as a vassal, and then we can start causing some severe trouble for Castile. It also makes it very easy to get Lisbon if I since I can just take it. Also, if we are lucky here, it could end up with Castile taking Aragon and thus moving their capital to Madrid, making it fairly easy to take Toledo. I can't actually remember which one of those it actually was supposed to take, but I'll figure it out soon enough. I think it's actually Madrid, so let's do a quick little check here. It's actually Madrid, so this is actually perfect for me because I can take Madrid right now without having to fight too much of a war. So, I guess once we actually get into war with Castile, these three provinces will be the main targets. Release Portugal, take these two for myself. I'll probably feed this one to Portugal, this one as well. And then we'll basically grow Portugal and, kick some Castilian ass. But that's a little bit further down the line. We do have the French here. They're currently at war with Bohemia and a couple of others. Currently, I think they are depleting their manpower to a bigger deal here, mostly due to the fact that they got Poland and Pomerania, so that's kind of weird. But as long as I can keep the French as my allies, I'm pretty sure that we can kick or hurt Castile pretty bad once the war comes. And of course, when it comes to fighting Castile, we want to take back as many of the provinces in America as possible to grow our own power. But if we can now get Lisbon and Madrid, two of the city, without too much fuss, that would definitely be helpful. Rome, of course, will also be something we can take without any fuss, just a single province. So as now things are looking good, and if the whole Roman Empire forms, I will have the advantage of simply snatching these two provinces without actually in a single war or single enemy. Of course, now it would actually be easier since I could also just go ahead, declare war on Tuscany and get, as you can see, Austria into it as well. But England seems to be the biggest problem right now. France, of course, will be annoying. They do have a lot of troops, they do have a lot of power, but they should be fairly easily dealt with. Also, note what we did last time, we annexed Shawnee and Iroquois. So for now, we'll just, I guess, set ourselves up for annexing Incas, and also we're waiting for the Regency Council to end while we are taking up. So we'll see how that goes. I'll just get right to it. Military attack 12 has been reached at Spanish Square. Military attacks for 2.85. I can now use Tertio and free shooter infantry. Also a very neat upgrade. So I guess we'll go for the Tertios mostly, or they're the most balanced. Wow, they're the most balanced, and as thus it's quite helpful. Of course, I was stupid enough to not really wait until the last of the month, but I was also lucky enough to not actually lose any troops from my stupidity, which also is very beneficial, or very lucky. So for now, we'll just keep on with colonizing and try and keep the Spanish of my potential colonies. I should probably have taken that one first. And I guess we do or can afford just having some extra colonies up and running. So we'll actually just go ahead and do that straight away. Also, of course, I need to remember sending out my missionaries because there are some provinces left to convert, but not really that many. Religious map we're looking pretty nice on, and also I'm pretty tempted to take religious ideas as my next one. And with that, I will have the casus belli I need on the Englishmen. But once again, I can't really bypass the navy, and that is probably why I'm hoping that by the time we can, or by the time I'm actually at the time right now, I'll have Castile and Sweden. I'm really tempted to start actually causing trouble for Scotland here, or asking for military access in this case, which I would be getting. If I were to take a quick look on the ledger here, military-wise, armies, how many troops does the English have? About 60,000, so I would have to transfer my entire army over, which would be pretty risky. They're also level 17, so they're starting to get a little bit further ahead. So right now I can't really do anything, although Scotland is still a pretty sweet arena or place where I could send my troops from. I'll simply have to live with it and wait. As you can see, this colony is almost done too, so no real fuss with colonization costs. We'll just continue colonizing the North and South Americas, and we'll probably get ourselves into war pretty soon as well. There we go. As you can see here, everything has been converted except for, well, the Castilian provinces, which we'll have to deal with sooner or later. But at least now my empire is once again 100% Catholic, or perfect religious unity, if you will. We also have control over 2 cardinals and currently 3 of the future ones, which could actually put us in a position where we would become papal controller. And I have no idea how much the Pope actually likes the Castilians, but if he hates them, which he doesn't, then we could at least have tried to excommunicate them, but we can't. But for now, we'll just keep on waiting. I need to also, as you can see, the French are actually out of their war, I think. No, they're still at war, but with Mali and Cannon Borno, so not really that much of a problem here. But once again, as I said, if I can here, then I will drag the French into this war with me, because we will definitely end up most likely in a war with the Castilians sooner rather than later. Because if we can snatch those 2 provinces straight away, then we basically have almost completed, because getting Rome won't actually be that much of a fuzz. And London, Paris, and to some extent will be, of course, a harder issue. But if we can at least get ourselves a base of power in Castile, or Spain, if you will, then we are basically set. But once again, I'm talking a little bit ahead of myself. But as you can see, we do... Oh, I changed one of mine out with a new one. And of course, Austria got that next one in line. Wow. That sucks. I thought for a second that we actually had control, but that's too bad. Diplomatic Tech 8 has been reached, the trade depot and dry dock, which basically gives me a little bit longer trade range, and I can now build a dry dock and a trade depot. We'll probably not do that though, because I want to, once again, catch up in tech. Can't really do that if you're building stuff. As you can see, we also do pretty well, almost level 13 military tech. So, we are really not falling behind due to the fact that, as you can see, I do have a Regency Council of the Military Skill 4, and I do have a level 3 military guy, simply because, once again, military tech is definitely the tech that I mean as the most important, especially for what we are doing. We will be needing military tech far above than anything else. And currently we have level 13, Trunnions. Artillery fire plus 0.4, artillery shock plus 0.1. I can now use a chambered demi-cannon, and I can also build a regimental camp. I'll probably not, but it's good to have. I believe we are now 4 levels behind, but we are swiftly catching up, so potentially we'll be just 3 levels behind by the time that we're actually done with the Regency Council. But as you can see, I guess it's time to do an economical gift, or bribe, as it were. Let's see here, next Basel, so I'll simply have to wait another year, and then we are set, I believe. I guess I can't actually proclaim guarantee or something. No. So yeah, we'll wait a year, and then we can integrate Incas, which are pretty good. We'll just wait and see what happens. With the setting up of this colony, we will basically block the English advance on the eastern, but as you can see, they are colonizing along the coast, so we really need to speed up and get this area here. So we'll definitely colonize to the north now, but we also should potentially start focusing on the coast due to the fact that Castilians have actually reached up here. But we should be fine for now. We'll simply have to wait a little bit, or might actually try and get up by the coast and by the coast here. It has to be considered, but we should be fine. I think colonial-wise we won't actually end up in too much trouble, and 1 or 2 wars against the Castilians will cripple them. Especially once we take this area, they won't really have that much trade power anymore, at least in Chesapeake Bay. So that's a positive thing to consider. And also apparently I need to drop down some more colonies. Let's see, where did they finish? Wow, this is my problem here. They finished a colony and I have no idea where. Oh, there it did, and of course I didn't actually have any troops on that, so that's probably why I didn't actually realize. But for now, we'll just take these 2 and send them to help. We'll despawn these mercenaries that I didn't actually realize that we still had. No reason to actually spend any money on them. There we go. So yeah, as I said, we'll just continue colonizing as much land as possible, trying to focus a little bit on the borders, but we'll have to wait and see. And as you can see there, I am actually contemplating here trying to get ourselves an alliance with the Swedes. They do have a lot of strong armies. They are also allied with the French, so I'll get ally of ally or something like that. I have no idea if that's actually a modifier, but if not, it should be, and that should also help out a little bit. It's also very tempting here to try and go after the Aragonese, but the distance between borders is kind of what screws that over. The reason why I could actually ally France, I believe, is because of the fact that they because they had a colony here, or because of the fact that they started colonizing down here. So I have no idea how that modifier actually works, but at the very least I would guess it's because of this or something along the area. But even so, this colony is kind of too new to actually be it, so I have no idea. Might actually be that they've started colonizing. Yeah, I thought for a second they had actually started colonizing over here or something, but they haven't. Kind of interesting though that Japan exists. We'll see. We'll simply have to wait and see. We still have that annoying, I dare say, Regency Council to deal with. So, still a lot of things to be fixed before we're ready for Europe. And yeah, some of you are actually probably screaming at these screens right now, saying you forgot about the annexation of the Incas, and I did. So we started it now instead. My apologies. I hope I can be forgiven, but we have at least started the integration now. It will take forever, as you might imagine, but should be done before too long. We'll simply once again sit on the fence. I believe it's actually about 2 decades. Yeah, it's actually 20 years, and then they will be integrated. But nothing we can do except wait. There we go. We do have a new king, Cuauhtemoc II, and we'll stop just there before I mess up my pronunciation even more. He's a 236 king, and that is pretty damn good for military leadership. And the heir is also 205. Once again, we do have military set down, but diplomacy we're going to really suck on for a while. The same with admin tech, but nothing really much to do with that. I guess I'll just keep on boosting military until we catch up, and then I'll get a 3 guy into something else, advisor. We also got military, administrative tech 12, fine arts academy. I can now build a fine arts academy, and I can also go for administrative monarchy or a administrative republic. The fine thing with a fine arts academy is that it gives -5% stability cost. It kind of pays itself in the long run. As long as you have the money, you should build it, and I probably will myself. I did forget coring for a while, so we just got that down the bag. And we're almost already at military tech 14, so we're swiftly catching up. But for now, once again, not really that much else I can do. The integration of the Incas is going a little bit faster because we do have a little bit better of a diplomacy guy now. I think it actually has something to do with your legitimacy. No, it has something to do with legitimacy. So once that goes up, we'll have even more help. So let's see, a fur, good news, we gained a core, and Kutlahuk. A first-rate organizer, the level 3 advisor guy, has done fantastic work with our armies. Tales of his ability has spread far and wide. His efforts will be admired through the nation. Well, I could take 550 prestige, or I could take a stability point. As you can see, stability or prestige does give a lot of things here, especially in the legitimacy department. It could be helpful, but the stability point is probably worth more, so we'll take that. But usually stability over prestige, I'd say. But once again, we are basically stuck with a situation here. Even though we do have a new king, I have to move some troops to Europe before we can actually start causing severe issues here. And of course, we're allied with Austria, which doesn't actually make things better for us, because that means that the French will be occupied with the Austrians. Austria war with the Ottomans. So potentially we could use that as a scapegoat, as it were. But if I am to pull this off, I need to transport troops to Europe itself. So I might actually go ahead now and transfer about 40,000 men to Europe for war efforts. Yes, I am thinking of war. Unfortunately, not really much else, or no real way to get around that. We do still have a lot of manpower, so it's not that much of an issue. But if I can fight Castile and get away with it, as it were, then I'd definitely be happy. So let's see if I can actually get the French into this. I think we can. I think we can pull it off. And of course, we'll also take a war goal that pays off for us. Simply take Santi here, should be fairly easy enough. And also, I'm pretty sure that even if we lose, I would be fairly safe just sitting on my little island here and watching everything unfold. How are we doing military-wise? Russia, France has 159, Castile 115, Austria has 75, and now out of manpower. So yeah, currently things are looking pretty much up for us, because add these together and 1-1 loss, and these guys would basically annihilate each other. Add us to the mix, and we might actually have a winning. Well, we might possibly win this, and that would be fairly great. But unfortunately, we are out of time, so we'll continue our plotting against the war for a war against Castile next time. It's definitely very tempting to do so. So we'll get our troops to Europe, France in particular, and then we'll do a little bit more consideration, or we might actually just go for it. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.